All right, so welcome back here to the Winter Fancy Food Show. And of course, we are on day 2 and having a blast. I've got Denise Purcell here with me. You are kind of the queen of content for the Specialty Food Association.
That's a good way to put it. I like that, yeah.
I love everything you guys are doing. I was looking at the magazine, the show guide, all the great stuff that you guys have put out, and very impressed. So
thank you.
Great job on that. Let's kind of get into trends, because that's kind of, we hear more and more people, especially up here on the set, talking about all these great trends. You guys are the experts of this.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're seeing. Let's just go right into it.
Well, we actually put together a trend spotter panel. So we have buyers and chefs and educators and industry watchers. They all from their own fields. They participate on this panel at every show, and even beyond the show, to kind of talk about what's coming in the new year and things like that. But at the show in particular, they walk the floor all 3 days, and they report back every day on what they're seeing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
How
and
many
so
are
we're
on
getting
that?
some good stuff. There are about 8, I think, on this panel.
all
Yeah,
right.
we have to rotate out sometimes between the shows, but it's usually between 6 and 8 people.
So their job is literally go scan the show floor, find all the greatest products, come back together, kind of huddle up, pick a few winners.
More or less,
ideas.
yeah. I mean, they're all shopping the show and working the show for their own purposes, but that's what's unique about it, because what's trendy to somebody who's a chef might be different from somebody who is an actual trend watcher, and they might be a little bit, looking at it from a different angle.
Retail, all those.
Exactly. So you get a real variety of opinions. And you get a lot of agreement on some things, which is cool. Yeah, but they report in every day on their findings, and then what we'll do on our end is, in addition to reporting it out every day via the show daily and our e-newsletter, Specialty Food News, a couple of weeks after the show, we'll have a chance to really kind of go through all the material, and we'll release the official Summer Fancy Food Show trends. Yeah.
I was looking at the show guide, and I was very intrigued with the classification of the food service suppliers side of it.
Yes.
So is that a new thing here at the show, where we're seeing a lot more manufacturers really focusing on food service?
It's growing. It's not a new thing. There have been a lot of companies all along who have been very active in food service, and even a lot of new companies who see it as a good path to market. But it is definitely growing.
Yeah. Okay, so if I'm here at the show, I'm a brand new buyer, I'm coming in, what are some tips you would give me to say, hey, you really need to check out a few things here?
Okay, well, the first thing I always tell people is go to the What's New, What's Hot showcases.
Okay.
Take a look. It's sort of like a little mini view into the show as far as what's new going on.
Yep.
And in addition to that, we have new brands on the shelf, which are what it sounds like, new companies exhibiting for the first time. And we also started this area a couple of shows back that's grown quite a bit. It's called Incubator Village. And we have different incubators come in, and they have space where they can rotate out companies they work with. And so you're really seeing cutting edge, brand new ideas that some are just on the market, some are not even yet.
Yeah,
So I always say those are good places to start. And then, of course, you're going to find a lot more on the show floor itself.
Right. So beyond the exhibits and some of those things, and then you get into the education side of it, obviously the speakers.
Sure.
We had a chance to have a few of the speakers here on the set, and very impressed with the quality level of their content and just their knowledge and expertise. What kind of things are the speakers kind of pointing out as saying, hey, these are things you should be watching here in the future?
It's interesting you should ask, because we had a couple trend-specific sessions. One was based on our annual State of the Industry research that we do in partnership with Mintel. And that comes out every summer. So they were looking at it from the aspect of what's driving specialty food sales. And beverages, functional beverages, snacks, plant-based, all of those things are really continuing to boom.
I heard a number from Phil that was a fairly impressive growth number in terms of overall total industry revenue.
Yes.
Which is growing dramatically. Why do you think that is right now? Why are we seeing this big shift over here?
I think, so many consumers are more aware of what they're eating, and more interested in what they're eating, and curious about it, and they care about clean ingredients and, quality foods. And I think, we're on the cusp of all of that.
Yeah, right at the edge, right here at the Fancy Food Show. I love that. Okay, so we've got the winter show coming on. New York is coming on. Italy is your partner country this year. You've got a lot of new products here, and it's a very busy day. What else can you tell me about the show today?
I can give you a preview of some of the trends the TrendSpotter panel is
Let's
finding.
do it.
Okay,
what are they
and this is not official yet, but they're seeing a lot of global sauces and seasonings, which, always sort of trending, but interesting new regions that aren't quite in the mainstream yet.
All right.
There are sauces from Burma. It's a local company, but they import tea leaves from Burma, and they make a traditional tea leaf dressing, which is part of a fermented tea leaf dish that's traditional to the country. Some Cambodian sauces that are used as marinades or sort of peppery flavored sauces.
So that's going to be good in retail and potentially food service.
Yeah,
both
absolutely,
categories. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
We're seeing a lot going on in tea, which is a mature category, but we're seeing a lot of sparkling teas. There's a sparkling rooibos ready-to-drink tea out there, so it kind of borders on functional as well because it's antioxidant rich. Yep. There is a sparkling tea out there. It's a new company, and they brew the tea similar to how you brew beer, and they include hops in it. It's called hop tea. And so it's got this very distinct flavor.
I gotta try that.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It's got this very distinct flavor, and I think it got started because one of the owners had decided to stop drinking, for health reasons. They were trying to lead a more healthful lifestyle, but he missed kind of that essence of beer, and so they kind of brainstormed and came up with this.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's interesting stuff like that. There's oat milk, which is, the alternative milks have been trending for a while, but we're seeing more oat milk at this show. Oat milk butters, oat milk ice creams, creamers, all kinds of things, cheeses. Probably expecting to see some more oat milk yogurts as well in the coming months. And plant-based too. It's such a movement. It's hard to call it a trend anymore, but it's taking on new directions.
Yep.
We're seeing some interesting new protein sources. People are making chips with sunflower protein. Pea protein we're seeing more of that. And actually, kind of a little bit of a direction toward fruits and vegetables themselves.
Interesting.
Not versus, people are still eating the alternative meats and things like that, but kind of a curiosity about, well, how are those made and what are the resources needed for them? What about fruits and vegetables if I want to eat plant-based? What about a vegetable-based, meal, an entree and things? So we're seeing, tomato jerky and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of variants.
Yeah.
I noticed a spot over here where they had released a new product in the dairy category, which was higher protein, lower sugar, which I thought was really intriguing to go, especially with, yogurt these days. It's both for retail and food service. It's a very popular area, but with this kind of this demand on low sugar and high protein, it was a great mix. I tried it. You couldn't even tell. It had kind of a Greek yogurt, consistency and taste. But those are the kind of innovations and trends I've, just walking around the show, it's been pretty amazing. Just even companies that have been in the business for a long time that are releasing out new products and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of cool.
And it's kind of the lifeblood of the industry.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Denise, it's been great talking to you today. Thanks so much.
You too.
Yeah. All right, we're going to continue our coverage right here from the Winter Fancy Food Show. Make sure and stay tuned right here. We'll catch you soon.